A ton of spectators actually turned up to watch the trial. The more these people heard during the hearing, the more convinced they were of Oscar's innocence. The prosecutors didn't do themselves any favors either. They noted that Oscar was clean shaven and so was the man who was spotted at Marianne's apartment. They even brought in a hairdresser who testified that she'd shaved Oscar's mustache off around the time of the meaning even their own witness admitted that Oscar actually still had a mustache on the day of the murder. But the prosecutors acted like it was a huge deal that Oscar had shaved around that time. They also talked a lot about Oscar's criminal history. Attitudes were starting to change, but the change was happening slowly. When it was time to vote on his verdict, 9 jurors thought Oscar was guilty. Only 1 said he was not guilty, and 5 voted for not proven. So Oscar was convicted. He was sentenced to by hanging. A lot of people in Glasgow were outraged. Almost everyone who'd watched the trial thought Oscar was innocent. And all the newspapers that covered the case highlighted how little evidence there was against him. More than 20,000 people signed a petition demanding the authorities to re-examine Oscar's case. And the outcry was enough for them to reopen his file. Thanks to this, he got a reduced sentence to life in prison. But Oscar still didn't want to spend the rest of his life behind bars, especially because the prison was dreary. So he reached out for help to the one person that he could think of who might be able to assist him, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the author of Sherlock Holmes. And Doyle did actually have a pretty good track record of solving crimes that police officers couldn't. When he heard Oscar's story, especially about all the evidence that kind of seemed to exonerate him, Doyle agreed to take on the case. He was going to help Oscar get his conviction overturned and go free. So Doyle interviewed the eyewitnesses and he reviewed all the evidence. He published an 80-page essay laying out all of the reasons that he thought Oscar did not do this murder. That essay got a lot of attention and tons of people were talking about it, but it didn't move the needle in terms of the criminal justice system. But he wasn't willing to give up. He found another ally in a member of Glasgow's police force, Detective Lieutenant John Thompson Trench. Trench was a highly decorated police officer with a great track record of solving the most difficult crimes. Trench was convinced that Oscar was not the He said that every step of the way during the initial investigation, during Oscar's trial, during the public outcry afterward, that Oscar did not do this.